Om Sahanavavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryan Karavamahai Tejasvinavadi Tamastu Mavit Vishavahai Om Shanti Shanti. That's a clarification. We'll take that up first.
In the context of King Janaka and Sudama, how to understand the futility of wealth and the futility of poverty?
No. Say that again. In the context of
King Janaka and Sudama.
Okay.
How should one understand the futility of wealth and futility of poverty? But I'm asking.
Oh, okay. See, generally, it's a general question, not from anything specific to the text. The question is, how does one understand the futility of
richness
and poverty with reference to Janaka and Sudama? The two characters, Janaka and Sudama. First, don't get carried away by the story literally. Sudama never felt any poverty inside. He never felt he was poor. If he felt he was poor, Krishna wouldn't have supported him at all. He never felt poor. He felt rich. It came to him. So that is very difficult to understand. Sudama never felt poor. Janaka wasn't feeling superior or anything about his richness. Sudama wasn't feeling inferior about his poverty. Able to follow? Janaka didn't feel rich. I'll quickly explain and we'll go to the text. I thought it's a textual question. Janaka and Sudama. Who is Janaka? The king, according to the story. Who is Sudama? A beggar, a pauper. Now the question that you are asking, that she is asking, is based on the story. Futility has got nothing to do with Janaka or Sudama. It's a story in a different context for some purpose. Now, if you have to explain that, I have to go into the story, which we are not doing now. So, independently, I will briefly touch upon what is richness and what is poverty. That's all. There is no futility here. First of all, we should remember you have to use the word futility only in relation to sense indulgences. The word, you should know which word to use in which context. You don't use words. You don't use words very liberally for your thinking. In the class, we will do it. When you think, you use words very precisely in the context. So whenever you use the word futility should be used only in the context of sense enjoyments, sense indulgences. It is futile. When we talk about wealth and poverty, are you able to follow? When we are talking about wealth and poverty, futility of wealth, I have never heard futility of poverty, isn't it? Futility of wealth is there. What is futility of poverty? There is no futility of poverty. In fact, poverty gives an inferiority, wealth gives you a superiority. And that superiority and inferiority complexes are futile. That's all it is there. It's not wealth or poverty. Because wealth cannot do anything, poverty cannot do anything. What wealth does is to affect your state of mind. What poverty does is to affect your state of mind. Poverty affects your state of mind as in generating a complex of inferiority. Wealth generates a state of mind as in a sense of superiority. So when we talk about wealth or poverty, we don't talk about wealth or poverty per se. We talk about what effect it has on your mind. Are you able to follow this? It has an effect on your mind. What is the effect it has on your mind? Either superiority or inferiority. And both are wrong. Both are wrong. So it is always in relation to what wealth can give and what wealth cannot give. What poverty can do and what poverty cannot do. It's analysis, that's all. We are not getting into that analysis now. Are you able to follow? We are not getting into that now. What wealth can do and what wealth cannot do. We have seen that any number of times. What wealth can do? Wealth can buy you iron and gold is good for buying iron and gold. We have seen that. What wealth can do? Wealth can buy you objects. And what wealth cannot get? What wealth cannot get? What wealth can give and what wealth cannot give? We have seen that analysis any number of times. What is poverty? What is poverty? What is the definition of poverty? Your demands are so high and you are not able to fulfill your demands. You feel poor. Your demands are high and you cannot fulfill your demands. You feel poor. Your demands are there and you can fulfill it. You feel rich. Are you able to follow? You want to buy a car. You don't have the means to get the car. You feel poor. You want a car and you can walk into the showroom and buy a car. You feel rich. Are you able to follow? What is poverty? Poverty is nothing but your demands are so high that you cannot fulfill it. And the fact that you are not able to fulfill it, you feel poor inside. Remember the definition of richness and poverty. We have seen that. Desires are less and you have more, you are rich. Desires are more and you have less, you are poor. Are you able to follow that? That's it. You should remember the definition. Poor means your demands are high and your income is less. You feel poor. Rich means your demands are less and your income is more, you feel rich. That's all. So richness and poverty is a state of mind, not in relation to the actual quantum of wealth. Are you able to follow? And nothing to discuss with Janaka and Sudama, because that's a totally different thing altogether. And I have to tell the entire story of Janaka. I have to tell the entire story of Sudama now. And some don't even know the story of Sudama. Or most won't even know that there is a person called Sudama existing, isn't it? Shrikant, Sudama theriyuma yarunnu? Theriyadilla? I know. Who all doesn't know, we know that, and then we'll ask that person only. We know who knows and who doesn't know. Seriya?
But what poverty can give and cannot give now, how should I tell myself?
There is nothing called poverty giving and poverty not giving. What is definition of poverty? What is the definition of poverty? When do you feel poor and when do you feel rich? When does a person feel poor and when does a person feel rich? Answer that first. Think about that first. And then rephrase the question and come back. We will take it up. Are you able to follow? The question is because the definitions is not, is the question, the definition, the question has to be a connection in thinking. So once the definitions are clear and understood, and then you ask the question, then we will know where the actual problem is and we can explain that. With this definition, rephrase the question as to what is poverty and what is richness in terms of Janaka and Sudama. சரியா? We'll study U and 3 states.
You and 3 states. The pure consciousness, self, conditioned by the gross, subtle, and causal bodies, has caused the distinct personalities of the waker, dreamer, and deep sleeper. The unconditioned consciousness has become the 3 states of conditioned consciousness. Human life is a continuous cycle of the waker, dreamer, and deep sleeper. They are unaware of their conditioning. They believe all is well with them and find no need to set right their statuses. It is like one being under the influence of alcohol, who does not realize he has lost his personality and assumed a false one, and conducts himself as that alien person. Likewise, you have lost your real status as the Supreme Self and assumed the 3 false statuses as the waker, dreamer, and deep sleeper. In the waking state of consciousness, you assume the position of the waker, experiencing the waking world. The waking world exists only for the waker and not for you. The entire waking world disappears when you enter either the dream or deep sleep. Again, in the dream state of consciousness, you assume the position of the dreamer experiencing the dream world. The dream world exists for the dreamer alone, not for you. The dream world also disappears no sooner you enter either the deep sleep or waking. In the deep sleep state of consciousness, you assume the position of the deep sleeper experiencing nothing. The experience of nothingness is for the deep sleeper alone, not for you. The world of nothingness also disappears when you enter either of the other 2 states. Your life revolves around the waker, dreamer, and deep sleeper. But neither the waker, nor the dreamer, nor the deep sleeper knows you. The 3 are in the states of your conditioned consciousness. They have lost their original state of pure consciousness, lost you, and have become totally complacent in their own enclaves, each swearing by his own state. The waker believes entirely in his existence and the waking world he lives in. He rejects the other 2 states of the dream and deep sleep. So does the dreamer swear by his own state, The dreamer also believes in himself alone and the dream world he lives in and rejects the other two states. As far as the deep sleeper is concerned, he is steeped in total ignorance. He knows nothing, believes in nothing, experiences nothing. However, the waker has an edge over the dreamer and the deep sleeper. The dreamer and the deep sleeper cannot conceive, much less investigate you, the origin of the three states. Only the waker is privileged with a subtle intellect to conceive beyond his conditioned state of waking. Investigate you. Thus, in the waking state, the waker can aspire to shed his conditioning and reach the unconditioned you. Attain self-realization. Even the waker needs to be spiritually evolved to raise the question as to who he is. Waker, dreamer, or deep sleeper. Since each swears by his particular state, which one of them is really you? There is a parable in the scripture which answers this question. There was a king by the name of Janaka. One night, as the king lay in bed, he dreamt a horrible dream that he was a beggar in the street suffering from penury and starvation. He shot out of his bed. Even as he woke up to be the king in the luxury of the palace, he could not shake away that vivid experience of the beggar. He wondered how he could have been the beggar a while ago and now the king. Janaka summoned his ministers and posed the famous question ever asked by a human being. Am I the king who imagined that I was a beggar? Or am I a beggar now imagining myself to be the king? Who am I? The ministers were totally perplexed and could not answer the king. They lacked the spiritual acumen even to appreciate the magnitude of the question. Time passed, but the king would not be appeased. The indefatigable question persisted in his mind until a spiritually awakened sage, Ashtavakra, was brought in to answer the king. To that enlightened master, the king posed the same question as though the dream had just passed. Am I the king who imagined myself to be a beggar? Or am I a beggar now imagining to be the king? The sage replied with his resounding words of wisdom. You are neither. You are not the king. You are not the beggar. You are the self. Now the self is imagining to be the king. A while ago, the self imagined to be the beggar. The self, having lost its real state, assumes the position of the waker in the waking state, the dreamer in the dream state, and the deep sleeper in the deep sleep state. The waking, dream, and deep sleep are conditioned states. Your unconditioned real state is the Supreme Self. not king, not beggar, not nothing. King Janaka reverentially received the message and soon discovered the self. So must you recognize your mission as a human being. To release yourself from the prison houses of the waking, dream, and deep sleep. Realize you are not the waker, dreamer, or deep sleeper. You are the immaculate self. Recognize your essential being. Attain self-realization, spiritual enlightenment. You are heir to it.
Three states of consciousness, the three conditioned states, and you. The topic is you and the three states. Conditioned means conditioned by what? A few factors explains the condition. The few factors is the condition of the mind, the nature of experience, and the medium of experience. This is conditioning. Whenever we say condition, conditioned, what is meant by conditioning? Conditioned by something. What is that? First is the condition of the mind in that state. What is the nature of that experience? What is the medium through which you experience? The Upanishad, Mandukya Upanishad, talks about the three states. Ashtavakra Gita talks about the three states. Now the Ashtavakra Gita story is given here, and then the concept is also given. The Ashtavakra story is where Janaka meets Ashtavakra. That story will come to later. After we get tired with the analysis, we'll for some entertainment, we'll come to the story. First is the three conditioned states. Technically, it is called Avastha Trayam. Avastha means Tamil Avastha na. There is a word in Tamil also, na, Avastha. Not in that sense. Avastha means an experience. Yeah, Avastha means difficulty. You can call it as difficulty also. That is also correct, because all these three are difficult experiences only. No, so in that way also the word Avastha is correct. But the actual meaning of the word Avastha is a state of experience. So Jagrat Avastha, waking state of experience. Swapna Avastha, dream state of experience. Sushupti Avastha, deep sleep state of experience. An experience means conditioned by something. Experience means conditioned. What is it conditioned by? The condition of the mind, the nature of experience, and the medium of experience. So we will analyze the three in relation to the three states, and then we see how you are different from these three. You means the self, because you are the self. The self and the three states of consciousness. And these three states are called conditioned consciousness. First, we will study the condition of the mind in each state of experience, because mind plays a very dominant role in all experiences. Mind plays a very dominant role. Therefore, first thing we will study is the condition of the mind in all the three states. Second one is what is the nature of experience. The third one is through what we experience. Medium means through what we experience. the condition of the mind in the waking state is what? All the faculties are fully operational in the waking state. All the faculties are fully operational. When we say all the faculties means, what are all the faculties? Emotions, reasoning, gaining knowledge, judgment, all these faculties of the subtle body are fully operational in waking state. Comparative chart, you can put it later. Then you will know exactly what is the waking state, what is the dream state, and what is the deep sleep state, and you are beyond these three states. Okay, what is the nature of the experience? First we saw the condition of the mind. What is the condition of the mind? All faculties are fully available. Subtle body. Technically, it is called Mano, Buddhi, Chit, Ahankar. The Manas, the Buddhi, the Chit, the Ahankar. All the four faculties are fully operational in waking state. That is the condition of the mind in the waking state. Second, what is the nature of experience? The nature of experience is you experience an external world. The world is external. Second is it is tangible. It is external, it is tangible. Very important is it is sense organs based experience. The 5 organs of perception. Jnanendriyas fully, it is a Jnanendriya based experience is the waking state. Since it is Jnanendriya based experience and subtle body are fully functioning, what is the medium of experience? Gross body and subtle body. So in the waking state, the gross body and subtle body are fully functional, available. It transacts with the world that is external. Condition of the mind is all faculties are available. This is the condition of the waking state. What is the condition of the dream state? Having explained the waking state, you should be able to easily say what is the condition of the dream state and deep sleep state. What is the condition of the mind in the dream state? Only one faculty is functioning. Are you able to follow? Only one faculty is functioning. What is that faculty? The memory. It just comes out as an experience. So what is the condition of the mind in the dream state? Only the memory faculty of the subtle body is functioning. What is the nature of experience? It is an internal world, not external. Waking state is an external world. In the dream state, it is an internal world. Meaning, memory and vasana based experience is dream state, not the organs of perception. It means, what is the medium of experience in dream state? Subtle body alone. Gross body isn't available. Only subtle body is available in the dream state. Because the nature of experience is, it is an internal world, subjective experience, memory and vasanas based experience. When we say subjective experience, what does it mean? Imagine there are 2 people sleeping on the same bed. 2 individuals sleeping on the same bed. Since there are 2 individuals sleeping on the same bed, will they have the same dream? They don't have the same dream, no? One person may dream Tiruvannamalai. Another person may dream Agra, Taj Mahal, isn't it? We don't know. In the waking state, it is not like that. Are you able to understand? That's why we call it as the external world in the waking state. Why? Because, okay, here there is a group of people. This group of people, all of us are experiencing the same world, isn't it? What is the same world that all of us are experiencing? There is a single person talking. Okay, correct? There is a single person talking. Supposing somebody says, I saw Ramana Maharshi talking, sir. Now, that person is in the dream state. Why? Because, Vasanti, you are saying me only, no. Venkat, you are also saying me, no. That is the proof that it is a waking state. Because it is an external world. And what is the dream? It is internal. Are you able to understand the difference? It is the nature of experience in the waking world is external. The nature of experience in the dream world is internal. What is the medium of experience in the dream state? The medium of experience for the dream state is subtle body alone. Subtle body alone is the medium of experience. Since one part of the subtle body alone is functional in the dream, what all you cannot do in dream? You cannot do inquiry in the dream. You cannot gain knowledge in the dream. Since you cannot do inquiry in the dream, you cannot gain knowledge in the dream. You cannot increase your vasana also in the dream. You just come, experience, and go out. But it is a distinct, different state of experience. It's called the dream state. Deep sleep state is very easy now. What is the condition of the mind in the deep sleep state? No mind. What is the nature of experience? Ignorance. Ignorance. Don't say bliss, huh? Don't say bliss. It is ignorance. And that ignorance, you can call it as a kind of bliss. But what is the nature of experience in deep sleep state? The nature of experience in deep sleep state is, it is ignorance. What is the medium of experience there? In the waking state, it is gross body and subtle body. In the dream state, it is subtle body, mind. It means, what is the medium of experience in the deep sleep state? Causal body. Just a causal body. When you are in deep sleep, you won't know that you are in deep sleep. When you are a waker, you will fully know that you are a waker. In dream state, partial awareness. In deep sleep state, no awareness. And that no awareness is called ignorance. Ignorance of what? Ignorance of your own self and ignorance of the experience. In the waking world, you are aware of yourself and you are aware of the world around you. In that state, waking state is a superior state. And why do we call waking state of consciousness as a superior state? Because in that state alone, you can inquire, gain knowledge, etc. It's a superior state because inquiry is possible. Gaining knowledge is possible. We can discuss the other two states. Waker knows three states. The waking state, the dream state, and the deep sleep state. Dreamer knows only two states. Dreaming and deep sleep. Because in the dream also you can fall off to sleep. Some of you would have had that experience. No, in the dream, you will fall off to sleep. You can dream. So the dreamer knows two states. What are the two states? The dream state and the deep sleep state. In the deep sleep state, you won't even know that you are in that state. You won't even know that you are in deep sleep. That is why you cannot say, I am in deep sleep. You will always say, you will always refer to deep sleep in past tense. Waking state, you can refer in present tense. I am the waker. Dream also partially. Deep sleep only in past tense. Why? Because when you are in that state, everything goes into a dormant state. These are the three states of conscious, conditioned states. The Upanishad says, I'm not elaborating the three states. This is I gave you the summary of the three states and how to analyze that and understand it. In the waking state, all the sense organs, mind, intellect is available. The organs of action is available. The organs of perception is available. Jnanendriyas is available. Karmendriyas is available. Mano, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankar is available. Everything is available. In the dream state, what is happening? Only the memory is available. Memory means the vasanas just come out, express, exhaust, dissolve. That's the dream state. Vasanas express, experience, dissolve. In order to experience anything, a body is required. A medium is required. You cannot experience without a body. Therefore, what happens in the dream state? A dream body is created, as it were. A dream body is created, as it were. Experience that and goes away. In deep sleep state, what happens? No body, no experience. No body is available, therefore no experience. Or what is available? Causal body exists. The causal body exists. These three states of consciousness, you keep going through alternatively all the time. At one point of time, you will be the waker. At another point of time, you will be the dreamer. At another point of time, you will be the deep sleeper. In the waking world, you experience the outer world. In the dream state, you experience the world created by the dream. In the deep sleep state, no mind. Since there is no mind, no world. Are you able to follow now? In the waking state, the senses, the mind all go outward because there is an outer world. In the dream state, all are centered around the inner. When we say inner means not the self, inner means there is the body that the dreamer also has. And we saw the distinction and difference between the body of the dreamer and the waker. The dreamer also has a body. The dreamer also has organs of perception. The dreamer also has organs of action. But what is the difference between the waker organs of perception and action versus dreamer organs of action and perception? There is a difference. Are you able to follow? In the waking state also subtle body is available. In the dream state also a subtle body is available. What is the difference? Answers are given and then only asking the questions, sir. First we give the answers. And then, exactly, yeah, that's how education is. First you will be taught and then only you can ask questions, no? Correct? In the school, they will teach you for 11 months and then they will give you an examination, no? So answers will be given first, you will be taught first, and based on what is taught, you will be asked questions. Why? Only to make sure whether you listen to it or not. After teaching, questions will be asked. Before teaching, questions are asked, what can you answer? You will not know. So first teaching and then the questions. First we explained what it is. What is the difference between the availability? What is the difference between the waker's body and the dreamer's body? The waker's body contacts with the external world. The dreamer's body deals with its own imaginary world. Example, same bed, two people sleeping, they don't have the same dream. Same two people, yeah. Same, but they don't have the same dream. In the waking world, all the wakers experience the same world. Are you able to follow? It means here it is external, there it is internal. Here it is objective. Here means in the waking world it is objective. In the dream world it is subjective. And what is deep sleep state? Both aren't there. Deep sleep is very easy. Deep sleep is very easy. When both aren't there. Both means the waking and dream. Mandukya Upanishad, what it does is, it goes one step deeper and combines waking and dream into one. It combines waking and dream into one. It is partial and full, that's all. The only difference is there it is partial, here it is being full. So whether it is partial or full, just combine it into one. So it combines it into one and says, there is dream and there is deep sleep. There is a dream and then there is a deep sleep. The waking state also it combines into the dream state. Why? Because it says the quality of the dream is different. That doesn't make it any different. That is the stance Mandukya takes. That's the stance that Mandukya takes. And in this topic here, we discuss it from the Mandukya. We are not discussing it from the three states as the waker, dreamer, deep sleeper. We say there are these three states and these three states have got nothing to do with you. So here, from what angle we are discussing it? We are discussing it from the level of Mandukya and Ashtavakra. Just as, see, Mandukya comes from the root word Mandukam. Mandukam means frog. Just as the frog keeps jumping from place to place, you keep jumping from one state to the other state. That's the meaning there. Mandukya Upanishad. The frog jumping Upanishad. What is it for you? Mandukya, Sanskrit word is very good. Yeah. And if you translate it in English, you have to translate it as Venkatachalam. Frog jumping Upanishad. Wow. What is frog jumping Upanishad? Just as the frog keeps jumping from one to the other, you also keep jumping from one to the other. And in this jumping, in this movement of one state to the other, the reality is missed. In that jumping, what is missed? The reality is missed. And what is the reality? You will say, I am the waker. I dreamt I was in deep sleep. Correct? You say, I am the waker. I had a dream. I slept well. All three are distinct and different. How do you know all three are distinct and different? The condition of the mind is different. The nature of experience is different. The medium of experiences are different. Vijay. Huh? All three are different. On what basis we say they are different? The condition of the mind is different. The nature of experience is different. The medium of experience is different. When all three are different and different and different, you say, I am the same. Vedanta comes and says, inquire that. Inquire that. But what is that inquiry? Inquire now. How? What is that inquiry? How to inquire? Okay, if you don't know how to inquire, borrow help from Janaka, because he teaches us how to inquire. That's the story of Janaka. Are you able to connect? If you do not know how to inquire, if you do not know how to ask, who am I? How can the condition is different, the nature is different, medium is different, still I am claiming I am that, I am that, I am that, I am the same. All these three are distinct and different is a very big understanding. Second is how you say I. When you understand all three are distinct and different, then you say I, the same. Then comes the question. What is the question? Who am I? Then comes the question, who am I? When you ask the question, who am I, Aparna, you are not supposed to ask, am I Aparna? In the waking state, you are Aparna, no doubt about that. In the waking state, you can't ask, am I somebody else? You cannot ask that, because in the waking state, you are the waker. So when the question is asked, when the Shastra says, ask this question, who am I? Venkatachalam. In the waking state, you cannot ask, am I Venkatachalam or somebody else? No, it is very clear that you are Venkatachalam. Where is the problem in that? But then what is this, who am I? Am I the waker? Or am I the dreamer? Or am I the deep sleeper? Or am I distinct and different from all these? The conclusion of the Upanishad, the conclusion of Ashtavakra is, you are distinct and different from all the three. And that all the three is called distinct and different from the three is the fourth, called Turiya. Please understand, it's not mathematical for it's figurative. Don't take it as literally the fourth. Turiya means the fourth. But it's a figurative expression, not mathematical figure 4. Because if you take it as mathematical figure 4, then you will ask, what guarantee is that there is no fifth, there is no sixth, there is no seventh. It's not the actual 4, it's not the number 4. It is distinct and different from all the known experiences. It is distinct and different from all the known conditioned states. What are the distinct conditioned states that you know? Waking, dream, deep sleep. Distinct and different from the known conditioned states is you, the fourth, the Turiya. That process is called who. This process of analyzing and coming to the conclusion is this who. Who am I? And then he said, Janaka asked this question. What is the question Janaka asked? The famous question ever asked by a human being. All of us keep asking questions, no? All of us are constantly asking questions only. And Janaka also asked a question. And what is the question? He asked, who am I? Janaka, the old man, and Ashtavakra, the 11-year-old boy. Ashtavakra, the 11-year-old boy, the teacher. Teaching Janaka, the king, the old man. That's the parable here. That's what he is referring to. Ashta means 8. Vakra means twists. Ashtavakra means 8 twists. His body, meaning you cannot have an ugly body more than, you cannot have that. Even a drunkard will walk steady. Ashtavakra cannot walk steady. Even a drunkard, you have seen how the drunkard walks, no? He will want to walk to the right, but the body will go to the left. He will want to go to the left, but the body will go to the right, correct? That's how the drunkard walks. Have you seen how a drunkard walks? Even his walk, even the drunkard's walk will be very graceful compared to Ashtavakra. From Ashtavakra only, Tamil kuda Ashtakonal nuanga. Ashtakonal means Ashtavakra da Ashtakonal, meaning all possible twists and ugly thing, that is Ashtavakra, young boy. And who cursed him like that? The father cursed him. The father cursed him. He heard his father doing a Saturday morning Vedanta class. Yeah. He heard his father doing a Saturday morning Vedanta class. And he was blathering. Yeah. Ashtavakra from the womb told his father, no, it is not like that. No, what you are, that's not what it is. You are teaching wrongly. Father got so annoyed. Because how can you correct the teacher? Teacher means he assumed that he knows everything. No. And Ashtavakra corrected it. And the father got angry and he cursed. He came out as Ashtavakra. 11 years passed. Brahmajnani, Ashtavakra. Brahmajnani he is. And then after 11 years, suddenly one day Ashtavakra found his mother crying. Ashtavakra found the mother crying. He went and asked, why are you crying? I don't know, some question the king had, and your father went to answer the king's question, and he was imprisoned. And he was imprisoned. What is the question? Who is the king? Janaka is the king. What is the question? Am I the beggar or am I the king? What answer did father give? Mother said, I don't know, some wrong answer he must have given. That's why he is in the prison. Ashtavakra said, such a simple question people don't know how to answer. I will go and answer the king and release the father, don't cry. So he tells the mother, don't cry, I'll go answer the king and bring the father back to you. What Janaka did was, all that story cannot be written. Why he didn't write the entire story is because then that will become another book by itself, isn't it? Janaka said, anybody gives the wrong answer, he will be imprisoned. If you don't know the answer, you should say, I don't know the answer. You don't come and give the wrong answer. And you cannot give any answer and escape from a person like Janaka. Yeah. Saturday class, any question you ask, I can give answer and get away with. I will not be imprisoned. Answer. Now you cannot do that to a person like Janaka. So all the scholars of the country was in prison. Maybe Janaka thought that's a good way to help the community. Yeah. The best way to help the community is what? Put all the wrong teachers in the jail, so that at least society is saved. So all the scholars were in jail. Ashtavakra came to answer. He told the guard at the gate, go and tell the king that I have come to answer. The guard came and said, there is one Ashtavakra there. Yeah. Nobody knew his real name. Huh? Nobody knows his real name. There is one Ashtakonal fellow standing outside and telling you that, claiming that he knows the answer to your question. What do I do? Janaka said, bring him. So Ashtavakra came. As he came into the court, the entire court started laughing. The entire court started laughing. Looking at the entire court laughing, Ashtavakra also started laughing. Janaka was sitting there watching this. He knew why the court people are laughing, but he didn't know why Ashtavakra was laughing. That he couldn't understand. Janaka knew why others are laughing at him. But what he couldn't understand is why Ashtavakra is laughing. So he comes down with all affection, not as a student. He comes with affection, comes and says, I can understand how others are laughing. Why others are laughing, I can understand. But I cannot understand why are you laughing. Ashtavakra said, I am laughing at you, Janaka. Said, hey, Janak. You don't call the king like that. In singular and all, you don't call the king like that. You have to say Mr. Prime Minister. No, you don't go and say. You don't go and call by the name. You don't call the president by the name. No, you have to address by. Yeah, you don't do that. I am laughing at you, hey, Janak. With lot of humility, Janaka asked, why are you laughing at me? Why are you laughing at me? Outside they told me that your assembly is full of wise men. Having come into this assembly, I realized that your assembly is full of cobblers. And you are the head of the cobbler. You should know the background of that society, the culture and everything. Then you will understand what this word cobbler means. What this word cobbler means. 10 fellows took the sword out. Because you don't call the king a cobbler. Janaka said, wait. Why did you call me a cobbler? Very simple. A cobbler is one whose attention will be on the skin. You will pay attention according to you will pay Have you ever noticed you will pay attention only according to what you are, the mindset, the profession? Engineer will look at the building. Interior designer will look at this one. The person interested in cooking will go straight into the kitchen. Then you understand. Similarly, Janaka Ashtavakra said, when I walked in, why all these people laughed at me? Because they saw my skin. They saw my skin and they laughed at me. It means their attention is upon the skin. It means they are all cobblers. At least tell the world that you have an assembly full of cobblers. Don't say that you are all wise people sitting here. When Ashtavakra said that, Janaka prostrated to Ashtavakra, saying that only a wise man can speak like this. Can you answer my question? Said, yeah, I'll answer your question, but let us put the terms and conditions clearly first. Yeah, terms alone we will talk. Yeah. The Saturday class marala edukka maatom, summa janta class. Yeah. Yeah, Tenga Moody class alone we will not take. Tenga Moody class. Tenga Moody class ne theriyuma Ram Subramaniam. Unnathukum prayojanam illada class nu artham. Yeah, useless it is. Janaka said, I will not do this kind of classes. My terms and conditions will be very clear. What are the terms and conditions? First condition, I sit above, you sit below. What do you mean I sit above, you sit below? In the court, what is the highest position? The throne. It means what? I will sit on the throne, you sit on the floor at my feet. World has not seen a teacher like Ashtavakra. Where do you get a teacher like Ashtavakra? And that man can't climb 13 steps to go to the throne. So Janaka carries him in his hands. Janaka carries him in his hands and makes him sit on the throne and sits at his feet. Now answer my question. Okay, the highest throne is given. Now we will discuss financials. Yeah. Now we will discuss economics. Yeah. First is position is established. After establishing the position, the second thing that we have to discuss is the economics. Yeah. What does economics means? Rajshekhar. Economics means Guru Dakshina. Fees. We will discuss the fees. Janaka said, it is against the tradition. It is against the tradition. You don't? Nobody asks for fees. You teach. You teach, and the disciple gives. The disciple gives Dakshina as a symbolic representation of the gratitude. There's no fee there. The Dakshina is a symbolic representation of the gratitude. So that gratitude, that will be shown only at the end. I don't even know whether you know the answer or not to my question. Before even knowing the answer, how can we discuss the fee? Ashtavakra said, I don't know about your tradition and all. Young boy, he is very bold. He's not worried. He said, I am not worried about your tradition and all that. At the end of my teaching, Janaka, you will be enlightened. He says, Ashtavakra says, when you finish the teaching, you will be enlightened. After enlightenment, we both will become one. There's nobody to pay Dakshina to anybody after that. So might as well pay it now. Rika thought, my God, he knew that he is some extraordinary person has come. He knew that. In Dakshina, you ask what you want and then offer. You don't dump what you have. You don't dump what you have. You ask what you want and then give. So Janaka, that's the culture, that's the tradition. So Janaka asked, what do you want? That's what when Vishwamitra came, Dasharatha asked, whatever you have come for is granted. Now what you want? And Vishwamitra and Ramayana said, I want Rama. Dasharatha said, anything other than Rama, I will give you. He got caught. Yeah. Dasharatha mechanically followed the culture and he got trapped. Isn't it? Because that's the culture. What is the culture? The wise man comes, say, whatever you have come for is granted. Now tell me what you want. So Janaka says, whatever is the dakshina is granted. What do you want? Ashtavakra says, okay, tell me what you have. Supposing if I want something and if you don't have that, now what to do? So tell me what you have. And Janaka kept on saying, what all? I have. And Janaka kept on saying, this is not. No, this is not yours. No, this is not who you are. No, this is not who you are. This is not who you are. Are you able to understand the teaching? For everything, he kept on associating the I with something. At everything, Janaka was associating the I with something. And Ashtavakra kept on segregating. The I is different. That's all the teaching is. At least this we should be able to understand now. So Janaka said, I am the king. I am the whatever Janaka was associating with I, Ashtavakra kept on teaching that I is different, this is different. The I is different, this is different. Wealth. Janaka said, you are a custodian of wealth. It's not yours. State. State doesn't belong to you anyway. It's not yours. For anything and everything that Janaka kept on saying, the I, whatever you associate with I, remember Ashtavakra. You're able to understand the knowledge now? Anything that you associate with I, remember. You don't have to remember the entire thing. Just remember one word, Ashtavakra. You will remember the whole thing in a flash. Because Ashtavakra kept on segregating. What is the segregation? The I is different. That which you associate the I with, both are distinct and different. Who am I? This is not you. Who am I? I am this. I am the waker. No, you are not the waker. I am the dreamer. No, you are not the dreamer. I am the deep sleeper. No, you are not the deep sleeper. Then who am I? I. That's the answer. Huh? He kept on asking, who am I? Who am I? The answer is, what is the answer? Srikanth. I. But what I? Yeah, you missed it. I. There. You missed it. I. Am I this? I. Am I the king? Am I the beggar? At least I am that Anandamaya Kosha, deep sleep state. Then who am I? What is the answer? For the question, who am I? What is the answer? Wise man. What is the answer? I. That's all. Just I. Don't say anything after that. Yeah, just you should not say anything before that and after that. Who am I? Shankar, Kolatur. Who am I? Na? You should not even say I am the self. That's all. That's textbook answer. You don't know what you are saying. Yeah, what you are, who am I? I. Who am I? Vijay, correct. Who am I? Na? I. When Shailesh does HR interview, don't go and tell him that. He will not give you any job. Even if I recommend also, he will not give any job. Shailesh, correct? Yeah. He only does. I don't know on what basis he decides. He himself doesn't know, but he is deciding. So when he is doing this question, there you don't say, who am I? What is the answer? That is Janaka. That is Ashtavakra to Janaka. Who am I means simply, who am I means I. That unconditioned I. The I that gets conditioned becomes a waker, dreamer, deep sleeper. The I, when it is conditioned, only becomes the waker, the dreamer, the deep sleeper. Janaka. Unnecessarily you are conditioning it. And then you are asking, am I the king or am I the beggar? You are neither the king, you are not the beggar. It means what? You are not the waker, you are not the dreamer, you are not the deep sleeper. Janaka received this message. Janaka received this message and soon discovered the self. After all this, see, you get a master like Ashtavakra, you will want to live with that master, no, all the time. What you will want to do with anything, anything else becomes a waste of time after. You get a master like Ashtavakra. And Janaka said, I will be with you. I will follow you. Or Janaka, play your role. You play your role, I play my role. Teaching is so complete. Able to follow? After that, Janaka says, when you have when there is so much of thirst, like there is so much of thirst in a student like Janaka, and you get a master like Ashtavakra. Janaka said, I'll follow you. Ashtavakra said, why are you following me? Then what should I do? Play your role. Play your role and never associate yourself with the role. I is different. You are different. The role that you are playing is different. Yeah. You are different. The role that you are playing is different. And you are not the role. Janaka received the message. What is the Guru Dakshina that Janaka gave after all this to Ashtavakra? Individually, I'll tell you everyone. Na? WhatsApp message. I'll tell you all individually. According to what all you have, I will tell you that. Prasad, Seriya? I can say no, Guru. Yeah. Venkat, direct I am saying, indirectly I am saying, suggestively I am saying. In any way you say nothing. In any way you say nothing is working. Conditioning the I is ignorance. What are you doing all the time? Conditioning the I. What is knowledge? Segregate the two. That segregation is knowledge. Segregating the two. What is segregating the two? The I is different and you unnecessarily associate the I with something. What do you mean by unnecessary association? The pure I is conditioned by one role and you say I am that. The I that is not conditioned by anything, you associate it with a particular role or you associate it with a particular state and you say I am that. That's called conditioning. Are you able to follow? What is conditioning? Again, I repeat. The I, whatever role you play, you believe, you associate the I with that and say, I am that. Whatever state you are in, whatever avastha you are in, avastha means the state, waking state, dream state, deep sleep state. Whatever state you are in, you associate the I with that again. And why do you associate the I with that again? You associate that I with it again because you are in ignorance. So what is knowledge? Knowledge is nothing but segregating the two. Knowledge is nothing but you segregate the two. What is segregating the two? The states are different. The roles are different. The bodies are different. You have nothing to do with that. And you have nothing to do. That is the lesson. You and the three states. With this, we conclude for today. And we have one more lesson, which is the supreme reality. And then we finish off the thesis on God. Chapter 8, the last lesson. We continue next week. Anything, Venkat? Nothing is there, no? Okay. With this, we conclude for